Hello and welcome to episode 26 of Rebuilding Chelsea on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode I've got the final two games of the Premier League season for you. In the first match we'll be at home to Fulham and we'll then be away to Burnley. So let's get straight into it, and the team to face Fulham is coming up in just a moment. Okay, here is the team then for the game against Fulham, and it is Simon in goal, back four of Chilwell, Botman, Silva and James, Bellingham at the base of midfield, Havertz and Mount ahead of him, it's Mudryk on the left, Sterling on the right, Moukoko up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, well my assistant is suggesting if we carry our last performance into this match, we'll do well. He's right on this occasion, so let's pump the fists. In fact, let's not. Let's outstretch the arms and agree with him. And let's get into the tunnel. Have your team been able to make this place such a fortress of late? Hard work. Always helps to be as prolific as you've been. All the work is geared towards scoring goals because they win matches. And am I excited by Derby Day? Yeah, I look forward to this one. So let's get out there and try to win it. And as always, first 10 minutes we'll just see how things play out, and then we'll react accordingly. I'll get the league table up there as well so we can keep an eye on that. And we know that if we win this match, we're assured of a top 4 spot before we play the final game of the season. So this is a huge opportunity to secure Champions League football for next season. And it is James with a free kick, headed across and then cleared. And Mitrovic plays it back to Fran Garcia, who gets to halfway, is dispossessed by Sterling. Mount plays it back to Antonio Silva, into James, back to Antonio Silva, into Havertz, Antonio Silva to Botman. We're keeping possession on halfway, but we need to be more dangerous than this. Mudryk into the area, and the shot is easily saved. Would have been one of the goals of the season if it had gone in, but in truth he didn't get hold of it really. Antonio Silva to Botman. Botman holds it and then finds Chilwell into Havertz. Mudryk is dispossessed but then wins it back himself. Finds Havertz onto Bellingham to Antonio Silva. Mount to Antonio Silva into James. Sterling's ball over the top. Moukoko beaten to it, but Chilwell's won it back. Mudryk cuts in field, hits the post, and it's cleared. So we are starting to get very close to finding a breakthrough, but we've not managed it yet. So let's demand more. As James picks it up, finds Antonio Silva to Botman into Havertz. Antonio Silva to Sterling, on to James on the right hand side, gets to the byline, cuts it back, and Moukoko slots it home, and it is Chelsea 1, Fulham 0. So as it stands, we're heading for the Champions League, and that gets us to 73 points as it stands. And that was close to a Fulham equaliser, but clipped the crossbar and we got away with it. So half time rapidly approaching. There it is. Chelsea 1, Fulham 0. So let's get in the dressing room. You've been good, but there's room for improvement, I'm going to say. And in terms of substitutions, there's any number of them we could make. So we will bring on João Mario for Reece James. We will also bring Moukoko off for Evan Nielsen. and that will do until the final 15 minutes of the match. That will do. So let's demand more. We need a second goal just to give ourselves some breathing space and make sure we win the match. Mount's ball in, headed away. Antonio Silva to Mount, who shoots, and it's just over the crossbar. Good effort, not quite close enough. So approaching the hour mark, it's still 1-0. So if we can keep this going, we should be okay. So I am going to wait for 75 minutes, but it is a Fulham attack. João Mario heads clear, but only finds Lukic, and it's over the top from the Fulham man. And we're into the last 15 now, so let's pause and make the 3 more changes that we can make. And we're going to take off Sven Botman and bring on Wesley Fofana. I'm going to take off Raheem Sterling and bring on David Neres. And for my final trick, I'm going to take off Kai Havertz and bring on Enzo Fernandez. So let's resume the action, confirm the subs, and let's see if we can get a second goal just to make things a little more comfortable. We'll go attacking for the final 8 or 9 minutes and just try and see things through. As things stand, we can still finish third, but that is the limit of what we can do. So there is your full-time whistle. Chelsea 1, Fulham 0. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode and our final match of the season, away to Burnley. And it is the team for this one is Simon in goal. Back 4 is Cucurella, Botman, Fofana and James. Fernandez at the base of midfield, Mount and Bellingham ahead of him, Mudryk on the left, Sterling on the right, Moukoko up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, this time my assistant is suggesting we're doing well, we're on a good run, let's keep it going, shall we? I'm going to disagree with him, so I'm going to pump the fists. It's a match we should be winning and make sure we do. And let's get out into the tunnel. Have I found the recent fixture list? We're always up for the challenge. Unai Simon starts again and will no doubt be looking to continue his fine vein of form. How pleased I've been with him. He's playing very well. Has the positive atmosphere around the club contributed to the strong run of form? Everyone's enjoying coming to work. There's a really fun feel around the place. So let's get into the action and see if we can finish the season off with a win, having already secured Champions League football for next season. So in fact, because Arsenal are already 1-0 up against Crystal Palace, there is essentially nothing to play for. So we are pretty much nailed on now to finish in 4th place. We can't finish any lower than that. It's unlikely we'll finish in 3rd. But Mykhailo Mudryk's given us the lead on 11 minutes. And it is Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. So good start. And that will at least put the pressure on Arsenal to keep them honest. They have to lose if we're going to nick 3rd place. And at the moment they're beating Crystal Palace by 1-0. as Moukoko wins the possession. Bellingham to James. It's played forward for Sterling, and Muric is out to collect that one. He launches it forward, and Bellingham picks up the scraps, plays it to James, back to Fofana, into Bellingham, ball over the top from Moukoko. Loose ball falls to Mudryk, who plays in, I think it was Moukoko, and the highlight comes to an end. But we get another highlight. Cucurella with the free kick, short to Mount, finds Fernandes. Bellingham to Sterling, and Bellingham's shot is a weak one. Muric makes a comfortable save. So it remains 1-0 as the half-hour mark looms into view. And this time Burnley do come forward over the halfway line. Taylor down the left-hand side is tackled, and Fofana gets it clear. Plays it over the top for Moukoko, who has drifted out to the right-hand side. And plays it infield to Sterling. Bellingham back to Mount, who hits the woodwork, and it's cleared. Botman to Cucurella though. Botman again. All the way back to Unai Simon in goal. Finds Fofana into Fernandes. Sterling through for Moukoko, and it loops over the crossbar via Godfrey, the defender. So we'll have a corner. Outswinger, right-footed from Mason Mount. Headed away. And Roberts will bring it clear for Burnley. Plays it back to Taylor. Highlight comes to an end. We remain 1-0 up. And Cucurella finds Fernandes. Cucurella to Botman. Botman is dispossessed by Tielemans. And the shot comes in. Simon with a comfortable save. And we need a second goal really to put the seal on this. Burnley, if they don't get anything out of this game, will definitely be going down. So they need to win, really, to have a realistic chance of survival. Moukoko's shot charged down and saved by Muric. Highlight comes to an end. And it is Botman into Mount, round the corner for Mudryk, cuts in field and shoots right-footed, but it's high and wide. And that's half-time. It's Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. So let's go into the dressing room, give the lads a bit of encouragement. So we'll point the finger. Doing well, can definitely find another gear. And let's make some substitutions. Mykhailo Mudryk. And we'll bring on Evan Nielsen. We'll take off Reece James and bring on... In fact, we won't take Reece James off. We don't have a right back on the bench. So what we will do is take Mason Mount off, bring on Kai Havertz, and let's go out for the second half and see if we can just see this one through. So we'll demand more, and it's crossed to Reece James, plays it forward for Sterling, clipped in. The shot's a weak one, and Muric gathers it the second time of asking, and the highlight comes to an end. So at the moment, West Ham are dropping down to 6th place in the league. Manchester United climbing into 5th spot, and the gap to the Europa League spots has grown even more, as Reece James has been pulled up for a foul. Tom Bramall's given a penalty. So if I can find a way to get Reece James... In fact, the VAR has overruled the decision. And let's bring on Hudson-Odoi at right back for Reece James. And let's bring Moukoko off. And let's get Evan-Nielsen up front, Moukoko off, and Neres or Abde. Neres can come on. So we'll confirm those changes. As Bellingham comes forward, plays it back to Fernandes. Sterling shoots. That's over the crossbar. And we're approaching the hour mark. And 1-0 up still. Slightly fortunately. In fact, we're not, because Burnley are on an XG of 0.36. We deserve this. So we need to see it through. Cucurella's ball forward. Evan-Nielsen gives chase, but is outmuscled by Godfrey. Zaroury to Roberts. Brownhill into Zaroury. Dispossessed, we've won it back. Havertz into Evan-Nielsen. Plays it into the box, but Brownhill clears. Fofana collects. And finds Hudson-Odoi, who feeds Sterling. And David Neres is in ahead of the defence to put the ball in the back of the net. And we await the VAR confirmation of the goal. And the goal's given. It is Burnley 0, Chelsea 2. We've got 15 minutes left of the season. And into the final 10. Sterling can come off for Abde. And that's our final change. And that is the final whistle. So final score, Burnley 0, Chelsea 2. I'll be back in a moment to show you the end of season league table and tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, let's take a look at the league table then for the final time this season, and confirmation that we did indeed finish in 4th place with 23 wins, 7 draws, 8 defeats from our 38 matches, 76 points secured, 15 shy of champions Liverpool. So time now to tell you what's coming up on the next episode, and it is going to be the Europa Conference League final where we'll face Lyon, and I will show you extended highlights of that one, so it'll be a 1-match episode but a nice long one. And if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.